Hey, it's another day. In the last episode of Lost in Frustration, we were on this thing right here. We're going to be back on this thing right here again. As you might have, if you remember, if you watched the last episode, when I filled it full of water, the intake started leaking, and I got really upset. And well, I wouldn't call it upset. I'd just call it pissed off, probably. And I went to messing with the fuel lines, and that was irritating also. So I had to take a break. But in talking to my buddy that owns this thing, he ordered all the parts. Let me show you what ended up happening here. He got to telling me that there was some pieces that I could use that would make this work, and I was so frustrated and irritated, and I kind of argued with him for just a second, but then I backed up and regrouped and thought, well, he's not frustrated, aggravated, and mad right now, so let me listen to what he's got to say. So there's two pieces for the gauges. It's got this piece in the middle. It's spliced, or it's a little T for the gauge to screw into to fit in the line. Well, he had accidentally bought two sets of gauges, one for high pressure, one for low pressure. The high pressure we couldn't use, but it had this little union in it right here. Let me take it out real quick to show you. It had this little union in it right here that has a spot for the gauge to screw, but it's got that little plug in it. So he said, use that, because this one has one, but it's got a female, so I could use it to splice in. So I went and got the other one, put it on like that, put this one on like this. He wants to be able to see the gauges while he's driving, or hopefully while he's driving. And I got everything lined up the way it needs to go. So all I really got to do now is make my hoses from here to here. So I'm going to measure that out and see if I can make that. But let me show you how it turned out. Wait. Let me show you how it turned out. So when you get up here to the front and take a look at it, this little piece this little piece right here that I put in there, right there, this little piece that I got put in there now extended it out far enough to clear everything linkage wise and everything. Now the only problem I have is right back here. You see how close that is? Watch when I work the linkage. It touches it right there. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to bend this bar just a little bit. I'm going to bring it to full throttle or bring it back to where it touches, and I'm going to mark it, and I'm going to bend it to where it'll go under. So I'm going to bend it down just a little bit and bring it forward, so it'll be a little bit lower, and it should clear that, and that should take care of our issue with the fuel line. So I feel a little better today. It's actually been 3 days since I've been out here working on this. I had some other business to take care of yesterday that tied me up all day, so I couldn't get out here. So I was out here Saturday working on it. So I took off Sunday and I took off Monday from working on it, and so now I'm gonna get back out here. I'm gonna get these fuel lines hooked up. The other thing I did, you might have noticed in the background, I got the windshield frame set in it. He's got to get the glass put in it after he gets it back, but I got the windshield frame set in it. The cowl is just sitting on it, and then it's got, I don't know if I can raise that up, but underneath this windshield there's this trim piece that goes underneath the windshield on top of the cowl. Well, the cowl bolts together with this bolts to this inside edge right here. Well, I can't find the bolts that went in there, or screws or whatever, so I'm trying to source that right now. The other thing I discovered is to bolt the cowl down and this together, I'm gonna have to take the dash out, or at least I'm gonna have to try and loosen it up and pull it back to where I can get underneath there, because the bolts are all underneath this edge under here, and I'll show you that. So I'm gonna work on the fuel line, getting the cowl installed. Like I said, I'm gonna have to loosen up the dash and pull that out, and then I'm gonna look at my list. What did I do with my list? What else? I'll have really not that much less to do. So if I can get all this taken care of, I don't know if I'm going to try and build the door panels and all that before I start pulling this intake apart, but I'm going to see how it goes, see what kind of frustrations I get into this go round, and we'll see how far I can get. And maybe in this video, I don't know if it'll be this video or not, I really want to crank this motor. I really do, but I don't know if it's going to happen in this one or not. I may try and get all the other stuff done that needs to be done, and then come back to this motor last, because that was the most frustrating thing that I had. I got to take all the intake, carburetors, all that stuff off, pull the distributor out, you know, all that, which is, for me, I'll bring it back to top dead center, recheck the timing, all that wiring and all that stuff. So that may be the last thing I do before I try and crank it, so that when I go to crank it, maybe that is the very last thing before he can take this thing home, is to crank it and back it out of here and load it on the trailer, and he can take it to the house. So we'll see. Stick with me. I appreciate you coming back. Thanks for watching all my frustrations and me getting mad and upset and all that good stuff, but I'm better today, so stick around. We'll see how it goes today. That didn't work. Alright, I cut the end off again. I'm starting over. Let's see if I can get it to work right this time. See how this one looks. Yep, that one's straight. What happened the last time is it bound up and it cocked off to the side, so I had to redo it. So, alright. I need my tape measure. got to fix my vise. Alright, well, that worked a little better. That worked a little better. So let's try that way. Like I told you, I'm not real good at this AN stuff. Okay. Where'd my hose go that I need? Right here. Alright. So. Alright. One down, or 2 fittings down, 2 more to go. So I'll come back when I get this other one finished. All right, that was not fun. So here's what I made up. Let's see if we can get this on here and to line up and all that kind of stuff. And I can mark this off of the list. Hopefully I made these hoses long enough. That one right there, what did I do? Oh, well, it helps to put them on the right way, doesn't it? That wasn't very brilliant. Maybe this will be a little more better. Sometimes I wonder about myself. Okay. How about that? I hope that's what he wants. I can mark that off a deadgum list now. That'll complete my fuel lines. I'll just have to tighten all this up when I put all this back together after I take the intake off. Alright, next thing next is this cowl. Let's see, I did put the windshield in. Let me go the other side. And the thing I figured out about this windshield are actually these little these adjuster pieces here, because this thing's got this chop on it. This bar is about 1/4 of an inch too long, and it hits the roof. It hits the roof up here when you go to lock the window back in and push that up. So I'm going to have to either bend it at the end, which is only going to allow it to come out that far instead of that far. So it's the only thing I can figure to do, because I don't want to cut it, because if I cut it, it leaves the end all open and wobbly. So I just want to bend that last piece in into a 90, and I think that will allow it to go up and lock, pull the wind all the way in completely. So I have to figure, if you look at this piece, this has the nuts for the except for right there, and I might have something for that, and the end one. Let's see what this end. Nope, it's got them all on this end. I got some little clip nuts that I can put on the end down here, but that's what bolts the cowl together with this and everything else. So to reach these, I have to pull the dash out, because I can't reach under the dash and the wiring to get to all these, and I didn't realize that until I tried putting this back together. So let me go see if I can find the right screws for these end pieces right here to go into this area right here. There's an opening, so I got to go figure out what that is, because some of this is like 1032 or 1024 machine screws. Some of it's quarter 20, some of it's 5/16 18. So let me go check that out. I'll be right back. Hi, I found an issue. I'm probably gonna have many issues. First issue is the back carburetor is touching the cowl. So I didn't want to notch this too much, but I guess I didn't notch it enough. So I'm going to have to pull the cowl off and notch this out, which that's not a big deal. I just need to go a little bit further back. The other thing that I have discovered is these screw holes here are 1224. I can't find 1224 bolt screws, whatever, anywhere. I'm gonna dig through my stash of stuff and through his bucket of whatever bolts they sent back with this thing and see if I can find some in the stuff. I've looked once and didn't see them, but I'm gonna look again. If I can't find 1224s, my other option is to try and drill. I got to see if there's enough material. Try and drill and tap these to quarter 20s, because a 1224 is just smaller than a quarter 20. So if I can drill these out just a little bit and tap them with quarter inch, I'm going to do that, and then I'll bolt this down with quarter inch. Then back here, these bolt locations for that trim piece that goes across here, that I have setting somewhere over there out the way, they were 5/16 fine thread. So there's a couple of them missing, and I got some C-clip nuts to replace them that are regular 5/16 coarse. But those are 5/16 nuts, and most of them are going to be fine thread. So I had to go get some fine thread nuts, or bolts. I'm sorry, bolts. And the other thing is, I got to take the dash out to get to this to bolt all this down. And on each side, on the other side and on this side, there's it's a 1220 hole right here. So I'm going to have to tap these out to be able to bolt that piece, that lower piece in that goes in here, that the cowl actually bolts to on the top side. So that's my dilemma right now. So I'm going to try and pull this out without taking the window back out, because the window's screwed in along the top and I don't want to have to do that. And with the visor on it, it won't come out much more than it is right here. So here goes nothing. Is that gonna come out? Let me go the other side. Oh, yikes. I didn't want to do that, did I? You know what? Let me take this off. And let's see. Yeah, I can go right out that way. All right. And so here's the dilemma I got with the dash in. You can look right here. Here's those bolt holes for that trim pieces that goes across here. Let me grab it and I'll show you. This piece goes across here like so. Okay. The cowl fits in between here, so it pinches down and tightens down there. On each one of these corners, there's a bolt hole right here and one on the other side that'll hold it in position. And I can see right now that my clips that I had for that side over there are not going to work because it's holding it up. See this space right here? That's got to fit flush, or else the window won't shut. So I thought these clips would work, but they're not going to work. So I'm going to have to pull these off, and then I'm going to have to actually weld some nuts in place for that to go onto. So let's see about doing that real quick. Let me clean my mess up for a minute. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I got the piece. I cleaned up under where the nut's going to weld. I got the nut secured right there. I'm going to weld these two nuts into place. I got my vise over here from over there. You know, I don't know if y'all remember a while back, my vise I got on my little roll around cart that I always use, I broke the jaw completely off of it. So, and this one is one of those that spins around. It's a cheap Harbor Freight one. Well, the thing that locks the vise from spinning broke off, and it's cast, and I tried to weld a nut to it without heating the cast up. And well, anybody that knows anything about welding, which I don't know jack about welding, it didn't take. So my nut, clamp, bolt, whatever, it broke off. So anyway, so I got my torch out, heated it up, and got it welded, and now it's secured. So now I'm gonna weld these nuts in place real quick. All right. Hope I didn't hit my thread right there. That's gonna suck if I did. We'll let that cool off for a second, and then oh, let me bring that cowl over there. Hang on just a second. While I'm letting that cool off, I'm going to cut this notch out some more for the carburetor, and it's got a second layer, and I think I may tack that together. Let me go check this real quick. I'll be right back. All right, that looks pretty good. I don't know if I need to do anything other than put a little primer on there. I think that's fine like that, because that's already tacked together in there. Okay. Let's see. I'm a little off on my angle on this side. Okay, let me clean this up, put a little primer on there. That'll be ready to mount. That'll be cool enough for me to get the bolts out of that, to get it ready to put together. I gotta go take the dash loose to get to the bolt, so let me do that. All right, let's see if we can get these out. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Now, let's see what happens when I pull this out. Come on, work with me. Work with me, come on. Will that stay there? If that'll stay there, I'll be all right, I think. Stay right there. All right, I'm gonna see. I forgot that I have to tap these out to 1/4-20, because I couldn't find the 12/24s. Let me see if that hole's big enough for me to just tap that out. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. That's gonna work. It's just enough for me to be able to tap those threads out. Let me get, I got some WD over there. believe that's going to work out that good. My luck is not. I can't go get a lotto ticket because I've just burned up all my luck today. I know this is not the right way to do this, but I am going to do it nevertheless, because I can't get in here. Now, I guess let's see if I can get this in there. Where's my pieces at? There's this piece. Oh, no, I got to... Hang on. I still got to tap these two holes out over here. This piece is supposed to fit right there. See if I got a countersunk screw to go in there. Let's see if we can get this in there now. It's gonna be a pain. I can tell already. Maybe not so bad. Okay. Does that line up with the holes? That's lining up with those holes. And that is lining up with those holes. All right. This piece goes in like so. I didn't want the the window to move, but there's that. All right. Now, let's see if I can get that to line up right there. Come on. Come on. I get a couple started, maybe. It's not starting, or is it? Nope, that's not starting. Why is that not starting? That is not good. Nope, that's not starting. What is the deal? Let me get a longer bolt, maybe. I got a few longer ones just in case, and maybe this will help me get them started. Acts like it needs to come over, but it really can't come over. Come on. We're going to drill those out, you think? Okay, this is aggravating. It's not making any sense. Very, very aggravating again. I should name this car Aggravation. That's what I should do. Because That's what it is. It's very aggravating. It's right there. Why won't that start? Right there. Do I have room to get up in there? No, I do not have room to get up in there. I better go do the other side, huh? Pretty sure if I'm gonna have problems with one side, I'm gonna have problems with both sides. Let's see if that makes any difference whatsoever in my level of aggravation. I know that's going in there, right? Why does that not want to go in there? There it goes. I just needed to start. Just start and go right up in there, just like that. That's all I needed. Now I need the next one to do the same thing. There we go. There's another one. Okay, we're rocking now. Let's see if I can get another one. Okay, there's another one. Ooh. Okay, that one. Is that one? No, the one in the middle is a different thread. Oh, guess what? That's the one I did not drill out right there. Uh-oh. 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 The weather's bad here, guys, and seems that my electricity is flashing. Clean them up a little bit. Okay. So, let's start over. Can we have success again starting? Okay, there's one. What about this outside one over here? I have concerns about again too. You know, my fingers don't fit very well. It's a very small area, and I don't have teeny tiny fingers, and it's posing a difficulty. Let's see, I don't know if there's enough room in there for this bolt to be that long. Oh man, come on. Come on, dude, work with me. I guess I'm going to have to take this one out and try and get that one in first. But I can't hold on to the deadgum bolt because my fingers are too big. I don't know how people got there. Damn engineers. Because it's got a bolt right above it. So why does it need that one? It's got one right there. What if I made that a stud to go through the hole and put a nut on it from the bottom? That might be what's fixing to happen. That is quite possible on what's fixing to happen. That will bolt in there all the way. What if I ran that the other way through there? Oh man. Can't see, for one. I want to pull that cowl back out to adjust this hole to make it, but I guess I'm gonna have to. I really need this smaller one to go in there, but fingers don't operate the smaller one. Y'all just don't know how aggravated I am right at this moment, because this is really starting to get to me. Really starting to get to me. This is all part of that. I didn't take it apart. So I didn't take it apart, and I'm trying to figure out how it all goes back together without. Can I get under here? It's gonna hit my camera. Let me move my camera. Okay, I got that one started on this side. That's a plus. Now, whether or not I can get a wrench on there to keep it, I don't know. And my battery's about to go dead. I'll be right back. All right, put a new battery in. Don't know how long that's gonna last. I did get this bolt started. And the only reason I got it to start is because I could lift this out, because that end bolt does not go through the support under here. So now let's see if I can get the rest of these started like I had done before. And of course, it wants to be a pain. There we go. All right, maybe that's more better. Tell me that one starts back up in there. That's the one I had problems with. That's the short one. And now this one wants to fight me. Really? Really? Okay, there we go. Got that one to start. Now let's see if I can get some more of these to start. That one started. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Okay, that one started. That one started. Let me get the one other threaded one. Maybe I can get it from this side. Not right. That one's okay. Okay. All right. See if I can get the rest of them. That one. That one. Keep your fingers crossed, folks. I'm on a roll. I probably spoke too soon. Nope, that's not going in there. Oh, yeah. All right. Now, I gotta put this screw, gotta get it started. I don't know if I can get it started or not. Just gonna get that one started and I'll tighten that one down after it's all done. Get this one started. Okay. That's started. Okay, the front of the cowl I'll have to deal with. Let me tighten those down. I'm going to have to get a wrench for those two on the ends. Okay. This will take forever. Let me get this back up into place. Hoping nothing came loose. Oh, there is something that came loose right there. Ah, what does that go to? What does that go to? Okay, gotta figure this out before I put that back together. Okay, that goes right there. Okay. Scratch the dash right there. Dadgummit. Sorry about that, Mark. It's gonna have a scratch. Right there. That sucks. Maybe I don't know if I can get that out. That's through the clear. That's about right. Oh, that's the one that's got to have the nut on the back. Can I get the nut on it? That is the $10 million question right now. Ah. Where's the last one? I gotta see if I can get this nut on that right there. Nope. Fail number one. But I got something for that. My wife got me this. She thought it would be cool. See that? It's got a magnet on it. Oh, I'm sorry it's on that finger, but let me get this short screwdriver. Where's that short one? Right there. Get on there. Come on. I can line that up right there. There we go. That's what I'm talking about right there. Now, tighten those up. All right, that part of the cowl is secured. Let's see if the window closes like it should. Let me loosen that up. Got to go back to the other side. Okay, there's that. That's as far as that goes. All right. Gets the glass in it. There's a piece of weather stripping or something's got to go right there. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. Why it's not closing all the way. I didn't screw that screw down right there. Like a big dummy. What did I do with the big screwdriver now? Y'all probably screaming at me about tightening these down, huh? You didn't tighten the screw down, dummy. Now, tighten that down. Tighten this one down. All right, now let's see. Come on. Come on. There we go. That down. Tighten that down. All right, that's in. Well, really not. I gotta do these now. So let me go see if I can find some countersunk screws maybe to fit in here. So give me just a second. All right, I found just enough of these 1/4 inch bolts, but I need something to stick in there to line them up. All right, let's see if I can get some of these to line up. Possibly. Let's see what this looks like. Nope, that's not going in there. Let's see if I can get this to... Let me set the rest of these down. That is not making me happy. That one start, that one started. Let's see if I can get another one to start. Come on. Work with me, huh? Come on. Nope. Let me go see if I can get that to catch on the other side. Let me see if I can get a couple of them on the other side or not. These are way off over here. Yeah, I really think this car hates me. I really do. All right, this side over here is way whacked out. And I don't know if I can get all of these lined up on here, because it is way out of alignment over here. Oh man. Why everything on this thing has to fight me, I do not know. Everything. Well, that's not get me where I need. Everything is fighting me on this thing. I don't understand why this stuff does not line up like it's supposed to. Because it should just line right up. But no, it doesn't line right up. None of it lines right up. The body lines are kind of lined up, but the holes don't line up, which sucks. How am I going to make that work? It's not going to pull that. I may have to drill through that and go from the inside to get that to line up. Yep. Man, that close. I mean, not even close. This one is, I mean, not even. This car hates me. It really does. This car really hates me. It really does, I think. I think the car really does. Really does hate me. I think. I really believe that. I think it just, there's something the matter with me in this car. There's no way it likes me in any way, manner, or fashion. Oh, please tell me that's starting. No, that's not starting. I'm almost going to be into BFR time again. You could work with me just a little bit. Because I ain't pulling this cowl back off. After all I already been through to get these 2 screws in this deadgum cowl. I'll drill this thing out and run these through with nuts and bolts before I do that. I'm telling you right now. Don't make me mad. Don't make me mad. Let's try an old body trick here. Where's my pliers? This is old body man trick. If you cut that end down like a fender bolt, give it a little point, it might track and get right in the middle of that hole. Okay. Guess what? This one's about to get drilled out. And I got one over here is about to get drilled out. I'm done for today. When I come back tomorrow, those 2 holes are getting drilled out. And I'm not fighting with it no more. So there. So stick with me. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day. Let me show you what I was fighting with yesterday. If you look down in this hole right here, it looks like that lines up, but it is off just enough that I cannot get that bolt to start. This lined up, this one lined up, but there's one right there, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's not even close. Now, obviously, somebody had some problems with this one because you see how that hole's oblong. So somebody already had issues with that one. And I have one over on this side that is the same way. You can see how it's off just a little bit. And I might, and see, there is no play in that anymore. So I'm going to work on trying to get those two to start. This one right here, I'm not fighting that. I'm just going to drill that out and run one of these through with a nut behind it. And I may do that with this one. I may have to do that one with the other one. So let me set up and try these real quick, and we'll see what happens. But I'm not fighting with it very long. So stick around. Let me try the other side real quick. Maybe I get this one to start in there. Nope, it just doesn't want to go, does it? Nope, it's not gonna do it. Just not gonna do it. Let's try the drill driver. See if that helps any. Look at there. Can't believe it. Can't believe that went in like that. Let's see if I can do that one more time. But I tell you what, I need to grind a point on this one. Try and get it in there. Let's see what happens with this one. That actually went in. It may be cross-threaded. I don't know. But it's in there. Let's see. One more that needs to go in over here. Alright. And I can tell you right now, there's no way I can do anything there. So, let me get a drill bit. Well, I'll be dead gum. That was blocked off with something. I don't know what was in there, but there's the hole right there. Let me get my, what did I do with my tap? That's already walled out, so I'm going to have to put a nut behind that. That one did not start like I thought it was going to. So I got to deal with this one right here. Or actually I got to deal with those two. So that one, how am I going to get to it? Well, I need to drill that out. Just need to drill that one out. Let me go get a nut. Put that to there. There's this one right here. Okay. All right, let's see. See if I can get the nut and washer on the other one. This one's the one that's going to be harder to get to. I got to figure out. I can't reach it both ways. Okay. Let's see if this will tighten down. If I can get this one to tighten down too. put the nut on the wrong one. Put the nut on the wrong one. I sure did. Okay, I gotta get a wrench. Okay, all right. That's not down all the way. Well, that may need a nut on it. Okay, to back up and regroup with that one too. Told y'all I was not fighting these today. Not doing it. It was going to be cooperate or made to cooperate. That's just how it was going to be. All right. That took way longer than it should have. Like everything else that I've been fighting with on this thing. All right. Let's go look at the list. Let's take a look at my list. All right. Let's see. Finished the fuel under the carb. Did that. Put the windshield frame in. Put the cowl on. Next up, real quick, I gotta run a ground wire to the body and to the chassis, just to make sure I got good grounds everywhere. So I'm gonna do that in the back real quick. Then I'm gonna hook the battery up and check to make sure everything electrical is working and I don't have any other shorts or anything like that. I think that might be the end of this video, because I did some editing last night, and me fighting with all this took way longer than I anticipated, so I spent a little more time than I thought, or it took a whole lot more time than I thought. So let me hook these the negative terminal, get a ground wire to the chassis and a ground wire to the body itself. That way I know everything's grounded good, and then I can hook the cables up and we'll check the electrical real quick. So hang on just a second. Okay, I hooked up, grounded the body, ground down into the chassis. I went and hooked up the battery. Nothing shorted out. It's showing 13 volts on here, but I got the little charger on it. Let's see. Let's check some stuff out. Nothing popped or shorted that I heard. Let's see. Parking lights work. Well, those are bright LEDs, huh? Parking lights work. Let's see, headlights on. Why are the headlights not working? That's not good. Oh, my switch the dimmer switch must be bad. Headlights are working there, so I'll need to try and get another dimmer switch and check those. And on this, like I said when I wired it up, when the headlights come on, these marker lights go out, those park lights. Okay, let's see. Let's turn that off. Gauges light up. Yeah. My indicator light works. Okay, let's turn the key switch on. Tack comes on. Let's see. Windshield wiper motor works. All the gauges seem to come on. Radio's on. Let's see. Turn the fan on. Fan comes on. I don't know if I got blinkers though. Well, the blinker lit up. I must have these two wires backwards. I'm gonna have to address that because the brighter one should be for the blinker. But that should be blinking. Why is that not blinking? That comes on. Comes on that side. All right, let's see. So that's, Now if I turn the park light on, I turn the blinker on. Is it brighter? It's brighter on this side than it is that side. Okay. So that's good. What about brake lights? Oh, we got brake lights now. Didn't have brake lights before. All right. So I got to figure out why the blinkers are not working. Why would the blinkers not be working? So the dimmers don't work. The blinkers don't flash. Let's see. It's got the flashers in it. That's on it. That's gonna suck if that blinker switch is bad. Really gonna suck. But it all lights up. Huh. Okay. And the other thing that I've discovered is it's not, when you try and crank it, it's not cranking, it's not turning over. So I don't know if this is not pulling it back far enough or what. So I have to investigate that. So there's a few electrical issues that I got to check on. I'll work on that. I redid my to-do list. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, hey, thank you guys for coming back and watching. I appreciate it. Hit that like and subscribe button for me if you would, please. I redid my to-do list. It's not as long. I got to double check the harmonic balancer bolt, make sure it's torqued down enough. I can't remember if I torqued it or not. I got to change the intake gasket. Then once that's done, I'll put the antifreeze back in it, check the oil, and then try and crank the motor. I need all thread rod for the breathers to bolt on. Once I get it cranked, I got to check and see if it goes through the gears okay. And then I'm down to sound deadener, building the door panels, building the inner quarter panels, building the divider between the trunk and the seat compartment. He's got a new Speedo ordered. I need to see about getting that installed and then installing the speakers. And I mean, it's really close. So I'm hoping today's like the 20, I don't remember. It's like the 21st maybe. I'm so lost on day. Let me look and see. What is today? Oh, look there. It's the 22nd. I can't keep up with the days. So maybe, I ought not to say it, but I'm hoping by the 31st, this thing is ready to roll out of here. I'm gonna have to run those little wiring issues down and see what's up with that, and then see if I can get it cranked. That'll be the $64,000 question, is if it'll fire off and work. So as far as this video goes, I think we're going to call it quits on this one. I fought the cowl and all that enough that I'm frustrated, and this video's gotten kind of longer than I like to run them. And because next I need to, next up I'm going to take the intake off and try and get that issue fixed. So that'll be the next thing in the next video, and maybe in the next video, maybe this thing will fire off. Once it fires off, we'll see about the issues with that little bit of electrical stuff. I think the problem we're having, I'm afraid it's going to be the blinker switch. I'm afraid the blinker switch is going to be bad, and that may be why it's not blinking. I don't know. I mean, the blinkers come on when you turn the switch on. They just don't blink. I don't understand that. And the dimmer switch must be bad because the lights go out when you put them on dim. And I didn't check the indicators to see if the blinker indicators work. I wonder if they work. Let me look at that real quick. So if I turn everything on, yeah, look, see, even the indicators come on. So the indicator there and the indicator over there, they light up. So I don't know. I don't know why the blinkers won't work. Did I try them? Yeah, I tried them with the lights working. I don't know. I don't know if the dimmer switch has got anything to do with that or not, with power or whatever. I'll just have to figure that out. So, but today was kind of successful. So what little bit I've been out here this morning, I'm making progress. Keep my head up, keep going forward. So as I say, hey, don't look down on yourself, don't look down on others, keep your head up, get some stuff done. And that's what we're trying to do, is get this thing done. Get out there and work on these old rides, save a part of history. And until the next time, maybe we fire this thing off the next time. So until the next time, I'll see you. Bye.